When you want a dose of nature and a little adrenaline few kilometers away from the city, you might want to consider Salakot Falls. You might be in for a little bumpy ride and slightly slippery trek to experience the breathtaking Salakot Falls. Salakot Falls is located in Barangay Napsan, Puerto Princesa.
Hello, grade 9 Dream learners! Welcome to Puerto Princesa Dream TV, your digital classroom. Come, let's get ready to be amazed and unlock aha moments with the grade 9 quarter 2 chemistry lessons. I am teacher Anna. I will be your virtual teacher as we explore the wonderful subatomic world. Aren't you excited? Well, I am. Have a pen and paper handy as we dissect the lesson carefully. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to name common hydrocarbon compounds, illustrate or draw the structure of some hydrocarbon compounds. Now hold on to your seats and get ready to learn and have a self-assessment on your prior knowledge about carbon atoms and the bonded forms. Enjoy your worksheets and pen to complete this video lesson experience. Are you excited? Let's start our new learnings and enjoy! Before we continue, let us answer first these questions. What you are going to do is choose the letter of the correct answer from the given options. You have 5 seconds to answer each question. And when you hear this, that means the time is up. Get ready and let's start. Directions. Listen and analyze the following questions and select the letter of the best answer. Write your answer on your paper. Number 1.
The systematic way of naming carbon compounds is provided by A. Pascal triangle, B. International Standard Unit, C. Linnaean System of Classification, and D. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Number 2. In naming simple organic compounds, it is important that you can identify the parent chain. What is a parent chain? A. Longest continuous chain of carbon. B. Longest continuous chain of oxygen. C. Longest continuous chain of fluorine. And D. Longest continuous chain of hydrogen. Number 3. Which of the following correctly describes the alkyl group? A. The part of carbon compound with double and triple bonds. B. The group that is not included to the parent chain and has a triple bond. C. The longest hydrocarbon substituents that is included to the parent chain. And D. The hydrocarbon substituents where their hydrogen atoms is lesser than their corresponding alkanes. Number 4. Which of the following illustrations has the longest continuous chain of carbon? A, B, C, and D. Number 5. Which of the following is 2,3,4 trimethyl octane? A, B, C, and D. Check your answers on the screen. Number 1, D. Number 2, A. Number 3, D. Number 4, C. And number 5, B.
Did you get a perfect score? If yes, that's great. If no, that's fine. Because as we go on with the lesson, we will deepen your understanding so you can get a higher score at the end of this episode. Don't forget to take down all the important details for you to be guided and cope with the lesson.
What are these objects shown on your screen? Yes, you are correct. These are diamond necklaces. In your previous lesson, you have learned that diamonds are made of carbon. What have you noticed about the features of these diamond necklaces? Is the necklace in the first picture the same with the rest of the necklaces? What have you noticed with the organic compounds in Figure 2? Can you spot resemblance between Figure 1 and what way have they resembled? The hydrocarbon compounds in Figure 2 are just like the necklaces in Figure 1. Some of it are made up of simple chains and some are complex chains with one or more embellishments.
Some hydrocarbon compounds are known and easily remembered by their common names. For example, acetone, methyl alcohol, and many others. As you go through this lesson, you will encounter several hydrocarbon compounds, and memorizing their names becomes a tedious job. This confusion is simplified through a systemic way of naming or nomenclature as provided by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, or IUPAC. All other organic compounds are considered as derivatives of hydrocarbons, as their formula contain other units called functional groups attached to the parent hydrocarbon chain. A parent chain is the longest chain of carbon atoms in hydrocarbon compound, where the substituents are attached. A substituent is either an element or even a compound attached to the parent chain. In case in Figure 1, substituents are like the embellishments. Now let us learn how to name simple hydrocarbon compounds.
Naming carbon compounds. The name of an organic compound generally consists of two main parts. A. The name of substituents or branching group, and B. The name of the parent chain. Steps for naming hydrocarbons by IUPAC system.
Step 1. Identifying the parent chain. To identify the parent chain, just simply select the longest chain of carbon in the compound. Note The chain is not necessarily a straight chain. You can include a carbon going up or down, just as long as you form the longest carbon-to-carbon bond in the compound. All the branching aside from the parent chain are then considered as substituents. Example, try to find the mother chain of this compound. There are three possible continuous chains of carbon atoms in this structure that you can consider as parent chain. First parent chain, second parent chain, and the third parent chain. In this case, the second parent chain, 1 to 8 carbon, has the longest parent chain because it has the greatest number of carbon atoms. Though all of it are possible, but the most acceptable is the one with the highest number of carbon-to-carbon bonds.
Step 2. Naming the parent chain. There are two parts to consider in naming the parent chain: the generic root and the suffix. A. A generic root refers to the prefix used depending on the number of carbons in the parent chain. See Table 1 for reference. B. An ending or a suffix that refers to the affix used depending on the class of hydrocarbon compounds. See Table 2 for reference. Step 3. In case a chain contains different types of bonds, in identifying the parent chain, consider numbering starting from the carbon nearest to the double bond, triple bond, and substituents in the absence of multiple bonds. Multiple bonds must be indicated before the name of the parent chain. A dash is used to separate a number from a word. Therefore, the name of the compound above is 3-heptene. 4-heptene is still correct, but we prefer the one with the nearest carbon containing double bond, which is carbon number 3. Another example in this carbon compound. Try to guess the names of the following compounds. If your answer is a 3-pentyne, you are correct. But if your answer is a 2-pentyne, it is the most preferable answer.
As mentioned, all groups that are not included in the parent chain are considered as substituents or branches. Substituents containing hydrogen and carbon are called alkyl groups. In a previous lesson, you named basic hydrocarbons based on the number of carbons and the bond it forms. For compounds with multiple bonds, you cannot consider a substituent with double and triple bond as stated in step number 3. They should be part of the parent chain. In naming an alkyl, use the suffix YL instead of the suffix ANE. Other examples are ethyl, propyl, and isopropyl. Let's consider this example. Which is the correct name for this hydrocarbon? Is it ethyl octane, 3-ethyl octane, or 6-ethyl octane? If your answer is 3-ethyl octane, you are correct. How does a hydrocarbon name obtain? From the given example, 3 is the number of the carbon in the parent chain where the alkyl group ethyl is attached. Ethyl is the name of the alkyl group for this example. And lastly, octane is the name of the parent chain since the longest carbon chain in the example consists of 8 carbons. That is why it is named as 3-ethyl-octane. Now, how about if the parent chain contains several identical substituents? Example, which do you think is the correct name for this hydrocarbon? Is it methylheptane 4-methylheptane 2245-tetramethylheptane or 3466-tetramethylheptane? If your answer is 2245-tetramethylheptane, then you are correct. In our given example, 2245 are the carbon numbers in the parent chain where the alkyl groups are attached. Note that there are two methyl groups attached to carbon number 2. Methyl is the name of the alkyl group in this example. Then we use the prefix tetra to indicate that there are 4 methyl groups present in this hydrocarbon. Lastly, heptane is the name of the parent chain since the longest carbon chain in the example consists of 7 carbons. Thus, the name 2245-tetramethylheptane. How about there are different substituents in the hydrocarbon? Like this example, which is the correct name for this hydrocarbon? Is it 3-ethyl-5,6-dimethyloctane? Is it 6-ethyl-3,4-dimethyloctane or 3,4-dimethyl-6-ethyloctane? If your answer is 6-ethyl-3,4-dimethyl-octane, you are correct. Remember that if there are different substituents in the hydrocarbon, they are mentioned in alphabetical order, disregarding the prefix di, tri, tetra, and etc. Now you can already name a given structure of a hydrocarbon. What if we do it the other way? How are you going to write a structure of a hydrocarbon compound if only the name was given? Let us use 2,3,4,5-tetramethylheptane as an example. In writing the structure of a hydrocarbon, the following are the steps. Step 1. Identify the parent chain. In our example of 2345-tetramethylheptane, the longest carbon-to-carbon chain have 7 carbons. Thus, in this case, it's heptane. Step 2. Set up carbon chain and assign number to each carbon. Step 3. The number preceding the parent chain's name describes the substituent and its position in the parent chain. Attach the substituents to the chain as indicated by numbers. Lastly, step 4. Attach the correct number of hydrogen atoms to each carbon. Remember that each carbon must have 4 bonds satisfying the octet rule. Finally, we have the structure of 2345-tetramethylheptane. Were you able to follow the steps? That's great! I believe that you are now ready for our activities. Directions. Name the following hydrocarbon compounds. Choose your answer from the box. Write the correct name, the most acceptable one, on your paper. You may scan the QR code on the screen to have a copy of an activity sheet and print it. You are given 1 minute and 30 seconds. Check your answers on the screen. Number 1, 5-octene. Number 2, 2-propene. Number 3, 3-methylpentane. Number 4, 3-pentine. Number 5, 2,3-methylbutane. And 6, 2-ethylhexane. Let us have another activity. Directions. Write the structure of the following hydrocarbons. You may scan the QR code on the screen to have a copy of the activity sheet and print it. For this activity, you are given 1 minute and 30 seconds. Check your answers on the screen. Remember, in naming carbon compounds, the following are the IUPAC rules. Number 1, select the longest chain. Number 2, name the parent chain. Number 3, number the parent chain beginning at the end where the nearest double and triple bonds or substituents. Number 4, identify the groups not included in the parent chain. Make sure to indicate the number of carbon in the parent chain where the substituents can be found. You did a great job in answering your activities. Well done, learners! Before we end our episode, let us have a short quiz to test if you understand our lesson for today. Directions. Listen and analyze the following questions and select the letter of the best answer. Write your answer on your paper. Number 1.
The systematic way of naming carbon compounds is provided by A. Pascal triangle. B. International Standard Unit. C. Linnaean System of Classification. And D. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Number 2. In naming simple organic compounds, it is important that you can identify the parent chain. What is a parent chain? A. Longest continuous chain of carbon. B. Longest continuous chain of oxygen. C. Longest continuous chain of fluorine. And D. Longest continuous chain of hydrogen. Number 3. Which of the following correctly describes the alkyl group? A. The part of carbon compound with double and triple bonds. B. The group that is not included to the parent chain and has a triple bond. C. The longest hydrocarbon substituents that is included to the parent chain. And D. The hydrocarbon substituents where their hydrogen atoms is lesser than their corresponding alkanes. Number 4. Which of the following illustrations has the longest continuous chain of carbon? A, B, C, and D. Number 5. Which of the following is 2,3,4 trimethyl octane? A, B, C, and D. Check your answers on the screen. Number 1, D. Number 2, A. Number 3, D. Number 4, C. And number 5, B.
Congratulations, grade 9 learners! I'm glad that we are able to finish this task in our lesson. If you have questions regarding this lesson, you may ask the assistance of your science teacher. Congratulations, grade 9 learners! I'm glad that we are able to finish this task in our lesson. If you have questions regarding this lesson, you may ask the assistance of your science teacher. For additional task, do this activity. Directions. Write the long chain structure of 2-ethyl 5-butyl 3,8-dimethyl nonane. In this episode, we have learned how to name and write the structure of some carbon compounds. Carbon, which is the main component of these compounds, is considered essential in all living organisms. And basically, most of these compounds are used in our daily living. Naming and structure writing pretty much depends on one another. You cannot name a structure if you don't know its name. You as well cannot write the structure if you don't know the name. That's why we basically cannot conclude on our ideas on anything without enough knowledge. Judging on something or someone should be based on how well you know it. If you know nothing, just don't say anything. I hope you enjoy our wonderful learnings for today. Keep discovering and continue exploring. For our next episode, we will discuss the different classes and uses of organic compounds. Once again, I'm Teacher Anna. See you again in the next episode of Puerto Princesa Dream TV.